This show contains adult content.
That was good shit. And meanwhile, Suicide by Clyde figured out where the duffel bag thing is from.
Interesting.
What?
Let's read it. Let's see what this is.
No, he made a 4.5-minute edit of the show.
Oh, really?
Like a supercut?
Where is it?
It's on current spoilers. I haven't listened to it yet because we were in this, but
Sure.
I like Suicide Clyde.
These are the
he's
things.
cool.
These are the things people care about most, boys.
The duffel
The
bag.
signature duffel bags.
Okay, folks. So we've been arguing because I think, Harper, that when you first came into this shit, you said Harper's signature duffel bag. And you claim you've never said that.
I think that I said duffel bag, and then you were like, oh, Harper drops his signature duffel bag in the ground.
Well, I think Suicide Clyde has figured it out for us. This is Critical Eye RPG on Twitter, at Critical Eye RPG. He also runs the Savage retweet spot and like a D&D retweet spot.
Yeah, I think so.
His name's Adam. He's pretty cool. Let's see. He made a, what is this, Isaac? What are we going to listen to?
I don't know because we were recording and I saw it posted.
Okay.
Adam here. I've been trying to come up with the answer for who coined the phrase signature duffel bag for Harper's unique piece of luggage
Thanks,
that he
Adam.
carries around. In the actual play, it sounds like crows. So without further ado, I'm going to play each of the audio clips.
It's a lot of work.
More than one.
Duffel
I like
bag,
this. I
Starting
didn't know
at the
there was that
beginning in
much.
episode 1 up until that phrase is coined. When we
Episode
first meet
one.
Harper, Cameron doesn't describe the signature duffel bag at all. In fact, it doesn't even come up. He talks about his boots. He talks about the poncho, etc. But in fact, the first mention of the duffel bag is when Harper arrives at the nest to meet Lucky in season 1, episode 1.
All he's got on him is his clothes, and he's got this big duffel bag that he's kind of got over his shoulder.
The second reference takes place in the same first episode when those two bait hoodlums try to shake down the mining money wagon lady. Harper immediately leaps for cover, reaches into the signature duffel bag, and pulls out his Winchester 73.
As soon as he hears gunfire, instead of reaching for his revolver, he's going to, duck below the window, and he's going to move over to his duffel bag that he dropped when he first entered, and he's going to pull out his 73 Winchester rifle.
And shortly thereafter, Ellis, played
so
by Alex
dramatic.
Horrell, pipes up and
Ooh,
says, "What you got in the bag, Daisy?" Kind of indicating to me that, this bag had been talked about a lot up to this point.
It's fucking bag.
Final recordings. I'm imagining that some time was spent on the bag. Here's that clip.
What you got in that bag there, Daisy?
Just about everything I need for living. I reckon you get down, there's gunfire out there.
Early in the second episode, the Crow Boys bump into Amos, the Texas Ranger. This isn't really significant, but Caleb does describe the bag carried by the Texas Ranger using the signature duffel bag as a size comparison. So to me, that just indicates that they'd been talking about this signature duffel bag a lot that night.
He is wearing the uniform of a Confederate soldier.
What the fuck?
Or a Confederate officer, if you had to take a guess. Although all of his
This
stuff
is
is a
crazy.
little bit more worn. It's got mud stains all over it. Maybe
Why
a
do we
few
talk about this
blood
bag so
stains.
much?
He's got a revolver on his side, tied down to his leg, and a shotgun on his back as well. In addition, he's holding a small bag at his size. Not as big as Harper's duffel, but a little bit bigger probably.
Does anybody ever say it?
Bag.
It's coming
Episode
sometime.
3, right before Lucky, played by Cameron Day, has his gun.
Hey, that's you, buddy.
Cole Marston. Harper references the bag one more time.
As we pull up, Harper pulls off into one of the alleys. He's got all of his saddlebags, so he doesn't really have that big duffel bag anymore. He's got all of his stuff in his saddlebags.
And then it happens. Someone refers to Harper's duffel bag as his signature duffel
Very
bag.
exciting.
Listen to this clip.
You're sitting with Lucky near the campfire. What are you two talking about this time of night?
I think we're just kind of like reminiscing. You remember that time when you first brought the bottle in the house?
And then, I don't know, we probably say other shit. As you guys are having this heartfelt, as you two are reminiscing and shit or whatever. Harper, you see your duffel bag, your trusty signature.
He was right.
Damn it.
So
God
there you
damn
have
it.
Caleb is the
Damn.
one who first referred to Harper's duffel bag as
Fuck
his
you, Adam.
trusty duffel bag.
Fuck you for all
At
your
least
hard
in the
work.
media that has been released to fans. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't even know how unreasonable that is. I mean, we're in the middle of episode 4 by the time the signature phrase gets coined. But by then, it had been mentioned 3 times by Harper, once by Ellis, and twice by Caleb, including the time he actually defined it as the signature duffel bag.
There's also
So
a
I'll
Slack
leave it to
channel
you
for
guys.
it.
Is the bag a signature item for Harper up to episode 4? Or is it just a thing that we kept talking about and it turns out it's not that big a deal?
I'll tell you right now, folks.
Well, episode
Virtually
4 of
anyone.
season 1 all
This
the
was
way
a
to
great way to
episode,
kill a Wednesday night for me.
Episode what, like
Dude, Adam,
15?
we appreciate you. And
What a
I
legend.
think, whoa. Hey, Cameron, we should do a Twitter poll on this, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
We're gonna
get
have
get
to.
whatever Adam just said, put it on Twitter, and we'll let the fans decide. Cool?
All right.
Thanks, Adam. Follow Critical Eye at Critical Eye RPG on Twitter. Or sign up for our Discord. Sounds Like Crows is sponsored by Ariel Weiss, Double Up Omega, Historian of Nukes, Suzanne Hagen, T, and all of our other patrons at patreon.com/Sounds Like Crows. Howdy, folks. Caleb Sunstead here, your host and game marshal. Our competition is still running through the month of May in 2019 to leave us a rating and a review on iTunes. If you do that, you will have a chance to play with me and some of the Crow Boys in a game of my choosing, your choosing. We'll figure it out. And if that doesn't work out, we will send you a Sounds Like Crows t-shirt. As always, Deadlands Reloaded and Savage Worlds is owned by the Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Thanks to Rudy Zuniga and Levi Rojas for doing our wonderful music. And with all that out of the way, welcome back to the Weird West. There's an overhead shot of this ironclad boat. We can see it all in frame, and as it goes forward at a pretty good pace, the camera follows it, and we can see it's headed towards these 2 mesas. Ellis, are you doing anything to get a clear picture of this?
The most I would be willing to risk my position for would be making my way over to the edge of the ship and maybe poking my head a little bit out of the water to see what I could see. I definitely would not try climbing up out of the water onto the ship to get any sort of vantage point or anything like that.
Well, as you peek your head above the water, you can see that you're coming into a dock area where there are several ships inside of this giant place. It's kind of crazy looking up because you can see sunlight in a ton of areas up there, 100 feet up. And it's this really large cavernous space. But it has a lot of man-made structures in here out of wood, and it looks like they've hauled stones. So it's not like a wide open space. There's plenty of stuff in your jackalope head that you immediately recognize that you could hide behind if you wanted to. But on either side of this entrance that all the ships have to pass through are these iron gates that one team that's actually on your side can activate to lock down anyone from escaping. Keeping watch of that are 5 members of the Upright Gang playing poker a little bit away from this large wheel. As the ship comes in to port, you recognize the Carne de Oso, been parked in here. Can fit even a ship of that size inside of here. And you don't recognize many of the other ships in here, all definitely smaller than that, but there are several other ironclads. You don't recognize any of the ships except one.
Don't say it, Caleb. Don't say it, Caleb, please.
Don't you dare.
If you say it, I'm leaving. I'm walking out of the door right now.
Don't you say
The
it.
ship of Old Boot.
No!
Bitch.
All right, guys, it's been a good session.
Old Boot has been a secret sleeper agent the whole time. It's
Jesus
fine.
Wow.
Now I'm torn,
Shyamalan, what the fuck, bro?
Do I save my brothers or do I save Old Boot?
Old Boot, dude.
I don't think there's a choice.
Fuck the brothers.
New
They
show's
suck.
Old
I would
Boot.
say
Listen,
Old Boot too.
listen, Isaac, if you can run Savage Worlds,
Yeah.
Caleb, he can be Old Boot.
Yep.
We'll pick new characters.
Yep.
And then we'll be Old Boot's gang.
No, dude.
So
nobody
here, let me
gets
pitch
to
this
play
you. Let
that.
me pitch
Nobody
this to you.
only.
Ellis's new name is Jack, right?
Yeah.
So the show could just be called Jack Boots?
Jack and Boot.
Only Old Boot.
That's a
and,
terrible
and
name.
Ellis.
I like
Everybody
Jack
else
Boot.
is
I really
gone.
bad name.
We don't need anybody else.
It's like a 3-man game.
It's
Well,
a
two-
3-man.
You
It's
know
a
what?
2-man
Scratch
game.
Ellis. We just need Old Boot.
Just
It's a
old,
one-man game.
Old
It's
Boot
just Caleb
Adventures.
by himself.
Old Boot Adventures.
I hope we get a one shot of like describing how old Boo got into this situation.
Yeah, I hope so too.
The ship comes into port, and the Crow brothers down below the decks of the ship, the Upright gang, that same brother Robert, lets you out, and he asks you to follow him up and out of the ship. You take a second to gather yourselves and walk up. You've had a few hours to rest, but still only enough time to lick your wounds and certainly not heal any. As you come out, you see the same thing that Ellis did. You see this massive cavernous expanse that looks like it has a few chambers coming off of it, like they've carved it into different areas coming off this main chamber. Lots of members of the Upright gang here, but this is basically just their loading area, with the exception that opposite the entrance you came in, past where the water stops, there's what looks to be church pews, and they're set up inside of this beautiful garden. There is lovely vegetables, there's flowers, and there's one tree that dominates the center of this garden that looks like it could feed many, many people, and it's sort of shading the pulpit down below. And as your eyes scan upwards, you can see it's lit by sunlight through these wonderful holes in the top where it's just beaming down light at this time of day directly on the church pews. They take you off with a plank onto the dock, and then many new members of the Upright Gang start to unload the ship. In addition to those members, you can see these men and women and children garbed in simple black robes, just all the way down. They almost look like burlap that's been dyed black. And some of them are wearing chains on their feet. Some of them are wearing chains on their hands, and they're doing most of the work for the Upright Gang as they unload the various winnings of the day.
Abel leans over to Thaddeus and whispers, I hope Ellis is hungry.
It's been all day, hasn't it?
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
keep it together.
Well, if they get these chains off me. I gotta say, though, for a hole in the rocks, they sure did do all right for themselves over here.
We're gonna die, you know that, right?
Well, eventually, look, yes. But not in this place.
No, here. There's no way. I know these people. There's no way.
I bet you $10 we make it out.
Lucky stays silent and droops his head.
It's a bad bet.
Abel, I think we're gonna be all right.
I think the better bet is the number of people we're taking with us.
Well, I mean, that certainly sounds a little bit more fun.
Fine. 50 plus. No, I'll take that back. Every single one of them.
The whole place?
Yeah. Can't be that hard.
I have been waiting for your return. The Cola Kid comes walking out of one of the passages leading off this main cavern. He's flanked by his entourage, sort of a flamboyantly dressed members of the Upright Gang with flashy revolvers and flashy rifles moving towards the group. As his eyes scan, he looks to Brother Robert, and they move forward, and they like lean in and kiss each other on the cheeks, and then grab each other on the shoulders, and then hug each other, and they like hit each other on the shoulders. And he goes, I see that you have found others in the maze that are to be welcomed into the light of our Father. And he turns to the crows. Welcome all of you to Lucky?
Lucky's head still drooped.
Is that Lucky?
What'd he say?
Abel's head snaps over to look at Lucky.
Lucky keeps his head drooped.
Harper's just staring daggers at this guy.
Lucky, it's me. It's the kid. Not even gonna talk to me? After you killed the father?
Lucky has no response. He keeps his head low.
Lucky, hey.
Lucky. He moves forward, and for a second it looks like there's hate in his eyes. And then he smiles at you with those black teeth. His eyebrows raise, and he goes, Lucky, there's no reason to fret. It's because of you that all this is possible. You set the Father on the path that he has brought us towards today. Without you, the father would have never been reborn.
Lucky's head slowly lifts up, and as soon as he makes eye contact with him, he spits right into his face as he's been building up a loogie this whole time.
Fuck!
Hey, what's this all about?
Brother Robert immediately whips Lucky across the face.
Can I make an agility roll to intercept that?
I guess roll agility, dude.
That like a -4.
Hey, I never ate anybody.
It's true.
Yeah. Brother Robert gets a 5.
No. So Harper just like stumbles a little bit, leaning forward, trying to like get in between them before he gets hit and just can't do it.
The cola kid like wipes off his face and he grimaces for a second. You can see that same hatred you saw in him when you first met him. And then his fake smile returns with his black teeth and he says, "You will see the light soon enough, my brother.
You're just a bunch of murderers.
Tomorrow's the day of our Lord. It will all become clear then. Take them to their new vocations."
I'm sorry, my new what?
They just grab you guys and start to move you off into one of the chambers.
Hey, what are you talking about?
There's probably no way I can see what's going on right now, huh?
I think for the sake of story, you probably, well, it might be more interesting. No, I don't like.
You gotta get past he put 5 guards out in front of the door.
He tried. He tried to give you something.
Yeah, I think that, no. Maybe by the time you sort of push your way around the boat to take a look, they're already gone. They've already been taken off.
Maybe you're hearing Thaddeus holler down one of the.
Do you want to?
Into the mic.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling, Alex, not us.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like maybe you just hear Thaddeus hollering as he's dragged down one of the tunnels.
The exact grid coordinates of
What location?
Yeah.
Are you just going to try to find somewhere to hold up for a while, Thaddeus, Ellis, or?
Yeah, I guess I'll just hang out underneath the water here. So Ellis kind of makes his way to the side of the ship in an attempt to see what's going on, maybe catch a glimpse of where these men are taking his brothers. He dives under the water, moves to the other side of the ship, slowly raises his head just above the water like a crocodile. Instead of seeing his brothers, he just sees this dock as he's too late, people working. So he just slips right back into the water.
Like a crocodile.
Like a crocodile.
The Crow brothers, sans Ellis, are being almost drugged through this compound of the Upright Gang. As you're taken through here, it is a buzz with activity. People are unloading ships from various pirate hulls full of food, gold, ghost rock, and armaments. It's hard to get an accurate count, but you would imagine that there are hundreds of members of the Upright Gang in here, in addition to many people under forced labor, working in terrible conditions. You're brought to a large cell that can fit about 30 people, and you're sort of hurriedly thrown inside one at a time, except for Abel. Abel, you're held back by a few of them, and Robert puts out his hand and says, "On account of your brother's actions, sir, I'll take that gun."
Abel looks at Robert. "I am ashamed of his actions, and I would actually appreciate the chance to speak to Mr. Kidd about that."
You are free to speak to him tomorrow after service.
Abel kind of nods to himself. All right. And turns to walk into the cell.
One of the guys with guns is going to make a fighting roll. Hits. It's probably an improvised weapon, so 1d4 plus strength.
Yeah, he's hurting him, huh?
Blows up his 4. 10 damage, Abel. He grabs the butt of his rifle and slams it into the back of your head.
You die.
What's your toughness?
Toughness is 6.
You're good.
So that's
never mind.
It's a hit with a
one wound.
Oh, never mind.
But he's at 2.
He's
right?
at 2, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so it just
He's
needs
technically good.
be on the
but
same
that's
page with
3
everybody
wounds.
else.
yeah, join the club, dude.
I think I'm going to soak it.
Makes sense.
I have to roll to soak 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you roll?
Vigor. It's got to make a success.
Do I roll a wild die with that?
Yeah.
You do. Everything but damage.
No, really?
What'd you get?
A 1 and a 2.
Nice.
Well,
Minus 2.
So the
Right.
Yeah,
son of a
thanks.
bitch. The gun strikes Abel right at the base of the skull, and he sprawls forward into the dirt and does that like little slide, dust flying everywhere. The cowboy leans down real easy, just slides that big iron out of the holster, and then just rolls Abel with a shove of his boot into the cell. and slams the door.
What was that? Hey, what'd you do to my brother? Hey, Abel, you all right?
Ugh, fuck. Yeah, he feels the back of his head. Nope, probably not.
What the fuck happened?
Pulls his hand out, it's covered in blood. Well, somebody's pissed off at Lucky, that's what.
No, fuck.
Well, Lucky's pissed off at somebody. Come lay over here.
Abel stumbles over to where Lucky is at and just kind of like staggers to his knees and then awkwardly rolls down onto the ground.
Yeah, what's that about, Lucky? You've been hanky ever since Cola Kid's name got brought up in the first place. Now we're here, and you pulled that right there in the middle of that whole room surrounded with guns and people. I thought we were trying to survive.
You could have just said hi.
He's a piece of shit. He deserved it.
Okay. Let's run with that then. What'd he do? What's going on here?
He knew somebody that I killed in the past. He's gonna make me pay for it.
This is the part where you should have thought about how we keep guns in our hands, not about getting us knocked into some fucking little cage.
As far as I'm concerned, we got a gun. His eyes shift over to Harper.
Oh, and I'm gonna use it.
All right, well, can you keep that sort of shit under control next time? I'm sure you think we're gonna die, but you acting this way is not gonna help our chances.
It sure felt good.
I believe that. You know what didn't feel good is getting my brains knocked in, because you can't keep your shit together.
Lucky puts a hand up to his jaw. Yeah, I know the feeling, Abel.
Abel looks a little bit chagrined.
Listen, boys, we're out of our element. I mean, we haven't really been in it since, well, ever, but we're it's only getting worse. And if we're gonna get through this, we have got to work together. Things, I don't know what's gonna go on. We gotta figure out ways to get Jack in or find something to help him out when he gets here.
I wish Ellis was here.
Well, we gotta find ways in and ways out. That way when he shows up, we know how to...
There's hundreds of them, Thaddeus.
Well, they've gotta have some sort of routine outside of services tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
If they've got a routine, then we've got something to exploit.
Yeah, Ellis isn't exactly reliable at this point, right?
Well, we can count on him being unreliable and being all the more dangerous to our captors than we are, at least.
That's the truth.
Way thinks that we need him more than he needs us, and he's not wrong.
If I was Way, this is a hell of an opportunity to just leave.
Yeah, but he's hungry. There's meat here. So he'll show up, do what he needs to, and we can either use the chaos to escape ourselves or, I don't know, we get out with Ellis.
Still would have preferred to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, well, I think folks around here wouldn't have taken too kindly to his condition. And I don't know about the rest of you, but it certainly was starting to seem like maybe we weren't all alive on that boat. I don't know how the rest of your nose has been doing.
This ain't news, Thaddeus.
Ellis has been dead for months, and we could tell this morning, couldn't you, Abel?
Oh, yeah, but...
So you think we get him around this group of Bible thumpers and all of a sudden it's going to be all right?
No.
They're all about it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we can't have him around like that.
We ain't exactly all right ourselves.
Yeah, well, this was the best play to keep us safe enough.
We'll see.
Lucky, what does services mean?
Shit if I know. I'm gonna be a bunch of religious nut jobs.
I thought you said you killed one of them.
Yeah, I killed their old leader, I suppose.
You suppose?
I did. Seems like I made a martyr, though, if anything.
Yeah, you heard what he said. Transformation. That's not a good term. I'm not entirely sure that you were as effective at killing that boy as leader or whatever. The thing he said you were.
It's more of an idea what this is. All of this. Disgusting. It's brainwashing.
A member of the Upright Gang unlocks the door and opens it up. 3 children enter between 10 and 12, one of them carrying a big pot of stew, one of them carrying a stack of bowls, and one of them carrying a bundle of spoons. And they start to dish it out to everybody in the room as the man locks the door behind them.
Looking around, what time is it?
It's about 5 p.m.
Wait, they locked the kids in here with us?
Yeah.
Pieces of shit.
How is Harper shackled?
Harper's not shackled. They didn't bother because he has one arm.
One arm, one eye, swollen other eye.
The only time it's an advantage.
Yep.
You win, dude.
There's one person that only has one arm that listens to this show. I think it's so sad.
Or maybe he's like, dude, there's finally a character for me.
Representation, man.
I hope. But then I make jokes like that.
Yeah. And then we always say shit like, oh, don't worry, dude, you're going to get another arm. You'll be normal again.
Yeah, Harper reaches up and takes a bowl.
Smokes it.
Getting fucking lit, dude.
That's all I could think about.
I think we could cut to Ellis if everybody's cool.
Is it dark?
I guess it's not yet.
Cut back.
Yeah, I mean, without more discussion about
I
who the kid is.
poked my crocodile eyes out of the water again.
Not yet. Not yet. And
Go
then,
back down.
And then he submerges like a crocodile.
Are all these gang members are the gang members all walking around armed all the time, or?
I mean, most of them, yeah. They're kind of surrounded by these people that could turn on them at any time, so.
Oh,
yeah.
sure, yeah.
I mean, we can cut to Ellis at night. We cut to later. Later. I keep thinking about you like a crocodile.
I'm coming out of that water like a sea turtle.
Crocodile.
Bro, you gotta come out like a salamander.
Salamander? How does a salamander
I don't
come out of
know,
the
Quick
water?
and
Slimy.
sloppy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I low crawl, which is more turtley, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but you're tall and
Or a
lanky, like
seal. Maybe like a seal. Like a,
Well, I am. Ellis isn't.
All right, so.
dude, your clothes have to be so heavy too.
Yeah, I'm probably nude at this point.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That'd be even scarier, huh?
Yeah.
This nude crazy guy just
With a big ass hole in his
comes
chest.
out of the water like a
Just
crocodile.
shredded. Fucking strong as a horse.
Oh man!
All right, all right.
Holy shit.
The show takes a turn.
Just starts fucking ripping people in half.
We cut to later that night. The still water in the harbor. And then it's broken by Ellis's wet head.
My wet head, baby.
Oh man!
Wet head, dude. Go through it.
It's giving a poke out of the water, huh?
Listen, it's
Little
not.
peek.
It's not great for like tension, but it is great.
You can
You
never
should
be
keep that
coming
in
out on the
future,
shore.
Caleb.
Maybe. I'm gonna have to come out of the shore eventually, right?
Yeah. He's got to do something.
Okay, hang
right?
on. It would probably be pretty late because I've probably checked a few times and like, damn, it's still pretty active on these docks here.
Sure,
What's
yeah.
going on here?
Yeah.
And I waited a little longer and wow, look at this. There's still people working out here. So then I'm like, fuck it. I'm not gonna have a chance. I'm just gonna have to do this. Is there still 5 guards playing poker?
5 of them.
5 guards playing poker. I saw that. I scouted it out with my crocodile eyes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can I tell what's going on the deck of the ship at all? Or can I see
Oh.
people still coming and going from it?
I think most of the ships at this point have been left. They're just guarding them from the docks.
You can probably describe me going onto the shore from the water, much like a sea turtle. Low
Why don't you
why
just
take
describe
it? Yeah, just take it.
I kind of wanted to hear you say it,
Caleb
though.
describe this stupid scene
You crawl up.
with your wet head. With
Man.
your wet head.
All right, here's what I'm picturing. Right
Yeah.
from the last place you left off, we see this harbor, and I think we get one of those shots similar to most recently. It's been sort of like Assassin's Creed is where I'm picturing it most, but like that time shift where you sort of see the clouds and the sun roll by and everything like
Yeah.
that, and it sort of moves from day through evening to night, and then it's still like a wide shot on the harbor, and then we see some movement in the shadows off to like the corner of the shot,
Yeah.
and it looks like a person, maybe a crocodile, crawling up
a
out
turtle.
of the pool, like a lagoon
It's a
off to the
leatherback
side
sea turtle.
of the entrance with these 5 guards. And as we pan and zoom in on that guy, all of a sudden it reveals it's Ellis,
How about we do this?
creeping and crawling.
I'm
gonna roll stealth.
You can get a Benny for that, Thaddeus.
Hey, I'll take a Benny.
Cool, roll some stealth.
I want to get on the ship.
Okay, do it.
Just another white one.
There's probably not a good way to climb up the side, no rope ladder or anything, right? So I'm going to have to go on the dock and then go up like the loading area. So what kind of roll do I have to make for that?
Probably just your roll opposed by their notice. I'm just going to roll for 2 people that are noticing, and you're going to get a +2 because of the lighting conditions.
Cool.
Their highest is a 3.
Well, I beat it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you got a
cool.
+2.
Thank God.
I do have some bennies, but I'm glad I didn't have to use one. Okay, I'm on the ship.
Yeah, you crawl out, kind of sneak down. You notice there's actually, like, when you're on this side, near where the Ironclad is parked and near where Old Boots' ship is, and maybe like one other big ship they got a while before. There's a lot of rock formations that are sort of splitting your line of sight from the chamber where you don't know this, but the brothers went down, and also from like the sermon area, the chapel area. Kind of wait for people to turn away. We get a shot of your feet on this dock as it creaks underneath, and then you make it and you jump to the ship.
How many people are on the deck of the ship?
0.
And there's cannons on the deck of the ship?
There's 2 turrets, and then there's cannons below the deck of the ship, yeah.
But the turrets, what do they fire?
They fire cannons. They're like a metal casing that can rotate, sort of like on ball bearings, and then it's got 2 cannons inside of it.
Now, I've been watching these guys all day. Is there any way or any sort of roll I can make where I can figure out where they were taking Ghost Rock?
Sure. Probably opposite most of the living quarters, so probably there's like one large tunnel off to the right side of the harbor, the opposite side of the harbor that the ship is on.
Can I shoot it with this cannon?
They took it further in the mesa.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What buildings, if any, would be possible to shoot with this cannon?
So it's like a big... I wasn't picturing buildings. I was picturing like sort of wooden platforms built to even out the ground, but not really buildings. Because this is sort of like an industrial area. This is sort of unloading and unloading, and the chapel just happens to be 100 feet away.
Can I shoot these guards?
Sure.
She's going to blast these guys into smithereens.
But I can't shoot the chapel?
You could shoot it's just like a bunch of pews. So, I mean, you could shoot them. There's plenty of other guards around, though. I mean, you could just aim for the largest group of guards.
The guy's playing poker.
I mean, you definitely can, yeah.
What is your
You
plan?
can shoot the gate.
Just to make a huge distraction. Because I don't know where you guys are either. I could try and just jump these 5 guys.
Yeah, stealth mode mission.
But they're going to probably shoot at me.
What the hell are we going to shoot, Elijah?
I was hoping we could shoot some buildings or something. Some storehouses.
Why don't we just get out of here while we can? Let's get someone that can start one of these boats and get the hell out.
Not without my brothers. Tell you what. You help me rescue my brothers tonight, and I will put some serious thought into just walking away. Just you and me.
When have you ever followed through on one of our deals, Elijah?
Don't you remember the judge fight? I let you take over, didn't I?
One time. How about some real flesh?
Tell you what, I can't think of a better place.
What are you gonna let me have?
Let's see if we can figure out where my brothers are first. And then fuck it. You can have the reins.
You see him sort of appear in front of you. He smiles and holds out a hand.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand.
As you start to shake it, he grips you and kind of pulls himself in closer. You fuck me on this. I'll do everything I can, Elijah.
I think you've made that clear.
I think his hand sort of moves inside of your hand.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, like a video game sort of glitch. And then he comes to walk around behind you and then steps into your body. And there's a noticeable, you're kind of pressed forward a little bit, but you tense your muscles and you feel a little bit stronger.
I want to make my way over to the guys playing poker. Do I have to make another stealth roll, or?
Yeah, one more stealth roll.
Guess I'll be swimming towards them.
Okay, I'm just going to roll for the 2 that can see you.
Uh-oh.
1 blows up.
Well, I'm fucked.
Into a 9.
That's not
You
good.
get plus
Do I still get the
two.
+2?
Target
Yeah.
number 1.
Mm-hmm. Blows up at 6. He might get it.
Yay, I
got
did it.
A natural
Stealth
9
mission.
plus 2. 11. 11 to 9. All right. You swim through the water, pull yourself up on the bank, and I think the shot is at the card table, and for a second we can't even see you, and then there's just the faintest glimmer of the moonlight hitting the sheen on your body as you crouch up on these guys. They're laughing and joking, they're trading cards, throwing money around the table.
If I can get close to him, I'm just going to start swinging on him.
Yeah, sure, let's do it. So you get 1 free round, and then we'll deal initiative.
Is there any sort of cover nearby?
I think they're sort of on a little bit of a raised platform, just slightly. It's sort of made of wood. It's got a couple stairs up, and then it's got not railings that you can see through, but solid railings that are just planks, cut and put up on their sides. So you could sneak up underneath it and then just hop over.
Okay.
You could punch through the ground underneath them.
Oh, that'd be pretty dope, too. I think I'm going to sneak up underneath it, and then I'm going to pull one off by his leg,
So I think to do that, you'd have to go on the side that's like the stairs, because then there'd at least be an opening you could look through.
Cool.
So the railings aren't, like, the railings are solid.
Okay, cool. Can I
Cool.
do that?
Yeah, do it.
Unarmed, so I get a +2 to that, so I got an 8.
Hit with the raise.
Well, you're also getting the jump on these guys, right?
So you have +4, right?
To attacks?
To
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Well, then it's definitely a raise. 17.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
And now I jump up onto this platform.
Cool. How do you kill that guy?
I just pull him off by his leg. He's sitting there playing poker.
Yeah.
I guess the camera shot just my hand, reaching underneath his chair really fast, grabbing his leg, dragging him off. And then once he's on my level, I just grab his neck and snap it.
So they, like, step up, push their chairs away as you jump up there. Do your other attacks.
Nice.
10?
There's no way that dude
No
survives.
way.
19.
Yeah, you kill him easily. This one almost feels like with Shugei's doing it. He grabs the guy's neck, breaks his fingers through the back of his skin, right? And then moves one finger behind his spine and rips it out through the back of his neck.
So I didn't say that I was going to do any frenzy attack, so that's it.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to roll them both at the same time.
Okay, as his guts start falling, these guys are going to make guts checks. Only one of them makes it, so the other two are going to be shaken. You get an ace of diamonds. They get a joker. They get a joker. The two that are shaken are going to make spirit rolls. One of them succeeds. So him and his buddy are both going to draw their weapons. -2. They're going to shoot you with basic revolvers. Got a d6 in shooting.
Isn't one of them scared?
So what's your parry?
8.
Because 2 are dead, 1's still shaken, 2 are unshaken.
Oh, right. There's 5.
If your parry's 8, they try to raise their weapons and shoot at you, and like you hit their hands away very quickly as their gunshots sound in this cavernous expanse.
Oh, how loud does that echo?
Very loud.
Oh, no.
Well, at least I got that
Loud.
distraction.
Your turn.
All right, yeah, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to frenzy on these guys here.
Cool.
Quick and dirty. Here we go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Damn.
2 12s on 2d12s.
Do I have to roll? I don't have to roll those, do I?
Yeah,
You
don't
have to
even
roll them, dude. You have to roll them.
How do you kill these guys? How do you just kill them all? We're done with this.
So the 2 guys that shot me, I'll probably kill them since the other guy seems like he has the least resolve. He's still shaking over there.
Yeah.
These 2 guys just tried to shoot me Boondock Saint style, right? Side by side, had their
Yeah.
guns out. I deflect both of their weapons away from me, and then in the same motion, I reach forward, grab the sides of their heads, and I smash them together with such force that the 2 of their heads kind of almost meld together, right? The blood and the bone, and
they just cave
almost conjoined at this point.
Yeah.
And I just drop them to the ground and look at the last remaining survivor. Where'd he take them?
Take who?
The captives from that ship.
That way, to the left.
I approach him, I grab him by his neck underneath his chin, just raise him up a little bit, and then smash him through the platform they were playing cards on.
He goes all the way through that and then slams into the rock bed below as you start to hear like screaming and lanterns being pointed towards you.
I dive in the water
Like an alligator.
like an alligator.
No. Croc.
It's a crocodile.